First things first, the NFL schedule finally released, and we've got so many questions. What does the Cowboys schedule mean for Dak Prescott's return? Still a lot of unknowns in Green Bay, but if Rodgers stays, are the Packers poised for a Super Bowl run? And, of course, we would ask, could Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs actually go undefeated this season? Good Thursday morning, everyone. Welcome to First Things First. Jenna Wolfe, Nick Wright, Brandon Marshall, Kevin Wilds. Nick, undefeated. It's got a nice ring to it.
Jenna,
see that schedule?
I don't want to get ahead of myself, but it's hard to find a loss. I got to tell you, I'm scouring. Hard to find a loss. Hard to find a loss, America.
Squint, buddy, squint. You'll find one. All right, 272 games on the just-released upcoming NFL schedule. No doubt where we're starting this morning. Bucs, Patriots, Tom Brady returning to New England. And lucky us, as fans, we don't have to wait that long to see it. How about Week 4? Early October evening in Foxboro. The leaves are changing. There's a little chill in the air. We all know this story. Brady, Belichick, all that history between them. Now Tom rolls back in there. He's got another ring on his finger. And then, how about this? A little icing. TV 12 Sports bringing back this little gem from when he was getting ready to leave New England. Brady, the caption, back to where it all started. And we will start with our resident Patriots fan, Kevin Wilds. You will be there. I know it. You know it. America knows it. So why don't we start with you? What's on the line in this game, Kevin?
I'll tell you what's on the line, Jenna. Nothing short of everything in the whole Patriots world. And I'm wearing these sunglasses. Why? Because the lights constantly shine in my face in my tiny basement? No. Because like any good revenge movie, the hero has to look a little extra cool, whether it be Liam Neeson or John Wick or Denzel Man on Fire. And that's what we have now, Jenna. We have a Man on Fire-esque revenge tour for Bill Belichick to reclaim the greatest team in all of sports. Here's the revenge tour, Brandon, quickly. First up, we got the Dolphins. The revenge tour specifically is for Kyle Van Noy, who was a captain and then all of a sudden is out of there. You don't think Kyle Van Noy is mad? He is. Next up, Week 3, the Saints. Oh, what's it like to lose an all-time great quarterback? Feel the pain, Saints. Week 3. Oh, boy. Week 4. In Gillette, Tom Brady. Brady, Belichick. I don't know. What a Super Bowl chance. The biggest game in NFL history. Week 5. What the heck? The lowly Texans. That's right. Jack Easterby and Nick Casario, we're back after you. Week 9. Is that Cam Newton's music? Cam back in Carolina to prove everybody wrong. Early Fox betting tip. Take the over on Cam's statistics, the over on everything. Week 10, Baker and the Browns. Without Tom Brady, Bill Belichick just has a losing record with the Browns. Okay, find out Week 10 how Bill Belichick does against the Browns. Week 13, the Buffalo Bills. We're the best fans. Congratulations. I love the enthusiasm. Where'd you decide to put the billboard? Foxboro? You're on the list. Revenge tour. You're lucky Cam fumbled that game. We would have won that one. And finally, the Indianapolis Colts. Why are the Colts on there? This doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I know. Carson Wentz still mad at you. Why? Because Nick Foles and the gosh darn Philly special. If you were in there, we would have won that Super Bowl. So you're on the list too. Brandon, I'm sorry I did not put your Jets on the list. They got new quarterback, new coach. They are not on the revenge tour. We just are penciling that in as 2 wins. But it is a monster revenge season. Liam Neeson, John Wick-esque for Bill Belichick. And I'm here for all of it, my friend.
Listen, that was great entertainment right there. That's what that was. And that's all this game is going to be, is entertaining for all of us. The TV ratings will be up. All of us is going to be tuning into it. I mean, a week leading up to the game is going to be entertaining. All of us are going to be debating, who's the best, and we're going to talk about legacy, who means more, who meant more to the championships and that run, the dynasty. But at the end of the day, this is about ego, Wilds. That's all. Like, their legacies defined by Super Bowls and Super Bowls only, right? This is a $12 billion business in a pandemic. You know, so what happens when you have multi-millionaires in a business filled with men? It's egos. That's what this is about, Nick. They're going to sit down and figure out a way to beat each other. They won't talk about it. They won't say it. They'll take the high road. But Bill Belichick has months to prepare for this team. Tom Brady knows exactly what Bill Belichick's going to do and how he thinks and how he's going to approach this. So it's going to be fun to watch this game and everything leading up to it. But it comes down to egos. You can't define legacy in one regular season game between these two.
Well, especially given how last season went. So a couple things. First of all, I just found out that Kevin Wildes is good-looking sunglasses guy. I'm envious of that, Wildes. Because of my nose, I can't wear sunglasses. None of them fit me right. So I just have to have the sun always hit my eyes. You're a guy. Brandon didn't do this as well. I've seen Brandon in pictures. It's like, oh, every sunglasses look great on you. I had no idea, Wildes, so congrats to you on that. Wildes, do you want the smarter, longer-term perspective of this or the in-the-moment perspective? Or both? Tell me. Because there's two ways to look at this football game.
Whatever will make me mad, but I think it's the Carpe Diem take. That's whatever makes me more passionate. That's what I'm about today, Nick.
All right, listen. The long-term, I think, smart, measured take is this game has almost no impact on the legacy of anyone involved because of what happened over the course of last season. If the Bucs win, then Brady's lead on Belichick post-divorce just extends, but it's already a massive lead. And if the Patriots win, then Belichick makes up, you know, one furlong in a race where he is down almost a full lap because of what happened last season. So I don't feel like in the macro there is much to gain for the Patriots. In the micro of the Monday morning after the game, I think there could be a ton to gain for the Patriots because, while I've not yet officially released it, some preliminary reports, early schedule numbers crunching. Patriots first 4 weeks, home for Miami, win. At the Jets, win. Home against the Fighting Taysom Hills, win. That's 3-0.
Yes.
Going into that Bucs game. Conversely,
not so sure.
For the defending champion Bucs, who did not get off to a hot start last year, and Tom Brady when he was in New England, September was the month historically you could get to them before they peaked late. If you look at the Bucs' early schedule, Week 1, Dallas, Dak, back from the injury. Cowboys offense should be one of the best in football. If we can show the Bucs schedule, I think Week 1, that looks like a loss. Week 2, they'll beat Atlanta. Week 3, cross country against the LA Rams. Some people's Super Bowl pick, Matt Stafford, Sean McVay. That's a loss. 1-2. So if the Patriots were to win that game, Wildes, they get to 4-0. The Bucs, meanwhile, stumble out of the gates 1-3. Super Bowl hangover like you guys thought the Chiefs were going to have. So in the micro, I think there could be quite a bit to be gained for you, which is good because while Jenna, you mentioned everyone knows Wildes is going to be at this game, his wife Libby is going to find out right now thanks to me. Your husband spent $7,000 on tickets to this game yesterday. I saw the screenshots. Check your credit card statements, Libby. He's going. I don't know who he's bringing, but he got some good seats thanks to the secondary market. Okay. So there it is, Wildes. Enjoy.
All right. I did not. Thank you for that. You have now, I've revoked your text privileges. You are no longer, this is the only time I will talk to you, no longer on text. They were not $7,000, but they were quite expensive. Hey, heads up to my kids. You better fire up that lemonade stand because Dad spent half of your college tuition last night. So out there every morning, lemonade, and come out to Westchester if you're thirsty because my kids will be out there 365 for the next 10 years.
We'll look forward to it. All right, before we go to break, got to do a little take your pick. So the Patriots trying to bounce back from their first losing season since, 2000. Been a busy offseason for them, including drafting quarterback Mac Jones in the first round. Brandon, who will be the Patriots starting quarterback in this game we're talking about? Week 4 against Brady and the Bucs. Will it be Cam Newton or Mac Jones? Take your pick.
Yeah, Nick just showed the schedule. You got Brian Flores. You're going against that defense. You got Robert Saleh, the defensive coordinator, now head coach for the Jets. That's going to be tough. And then you have Dennis Allen, Demario Davis, who we had on the show, friend of the show, and Coach Sean Payton. This is going to be tough for Cam Newton. But I think he gets it done, and I think he goes into week 4 on a high note, and he's the quarterback.
Listen, I think Cam's going to be the quarterback at least until Thanksgiving, unless he gets hurt. So I think Cam's certainly going to be the quarterback. I think the Patriots are going to be above 500, and I don't think Cam's going to have a great year, but I think he's going to have a bounce back year. And I'll say this quietly, I don't think Mac Jones is good. So I think that also will help Cam Newton. So for all those reasons,
I'm all in on Mac Jones.
I think Cam's going to be this. I know you are, Brandon. That's why I whispered. You were supposed to earmuff it. So for all those reasons, Wilds, I think Cam's going to be your quarterback.
Yeah, I think Cam's the guy. I think the offense is just too difficult to pick up in 4 weeks, even with an offseason. The more interesting thing, Jenna, is if Mac Jones has somehow played his way into the starting spot, do we see Cam go to Carolina and get a Taysom Hill, Jameis sort of package? Will the Patriots break out 2 quarterbacks in Carolina? I think that's fascinating. A little wildcat action for Cam.
All right, well, that was week 4. See if the Pats can get off to a better season than they did last year. 2-5 through 7. We're going to continue breaking down the NFL schedule. Which matchup is the most intriguing? Guys will make their picks next. This is First Things First. Drawing a blank. NFL schedule. Check out some of these big-time matchups you can catch on the Fox airwaves this season. Bucs, Rams, Packers, Chiefs. I'm just going to name them. Cowboys, Chiefs, Browns, Packers. All right, Brandon, the matchup you're most intrigued by this season is blank.
Let's go to week 5, Bills versus the Chiefs. The reason why this is a big one for me, because I want to see exactly where the Bills are at. You know, last year the Bills took a huge jump. Josh Allen played phenomenal. But what happened? That defense in that title game was exposed. And for them to actually be a contender and compete in the AFC, they have to go through the Kansas City Chiefs. But that defense has to be smart. If you turn on that film and you watch that game, what you're going to see is guys is dropping back in simple coverage. Cover 3, cover 2, making the right decisions. They're not getting pressure on Mahomes, but these guys aren't playing smart. Number 2, the slot receiver goes to the flat, and then you'll see the will linebacker just sit there and not turn his eyes to one to see if he's coming in and where the potential threat's at. And that's why you saw Mahomes just dink and dunk and expose them. If the Bills want to be Super Bowl champions, they have to go through the Chiefs, but they have to play better defense. They have to play smart defense. So week 6, Bills at the Chiefs.
Brandon's absolutely right. And if they do play better defense and smarter defense, maybe instead of a 38-6 run, the Chiefs will only go on a 28-6 run, and they could keep it somewhat respectable, because that was an embarrassment for them last year in the AFC title game. I am going to go with a week 1 game that I believe will also be a week 21 game. Browns at Chiefs to start the season. Browns at Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. I think this is, I heard Colin yesterday come out and say this is a brutal open for the Browns. I totally disagree with that. I think this is actually the best possible opening opponent for the Browns, because they get to see how far away or how close they are to being the class of the conference. Players 2 through 53, the Browns have as good of a team as anyone in the AFC. The question is, how close can Baker get to Mahomes' production level, and is the gap going to be too big to offset what I think is, for the Browns overall, an equal, if not better roster 2 through 53 than Kansas City. So I think that it is going to be an AFC Championship game preview. We saw it in the playoffs last year, Wilds, but not really, because Mahomes got hurt. And so we didn't get to see the full version of that game. But Browns at Chiefs, to me, is the most intriguing game, and we start the season with it.
You know what I like? I like games with a little bit of juice, with a little bit of animosity to them. Stafford v. Goff, week 7. And guess who I'm rooting for? Oh, the Fighting Kneecaps. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Go after your old quarterback, Matthew Stafford. I think Goff, I'm rooting for Goff in a major way, Jenna. I feel like he's gotten a bad deal. I'd love to see him go back and have revenge on Sean McVay. And also, since the Patriots don't play the Rams, Matthew Stafford, you don't want to come to New England? Fine. Why don't you have your old team beat you? Why don't you have Jared Goff beat you?
That's what it's all about.
So that's the only way I can get back at Stafford. Talking trash.
If you let Wilds talk long enough, it all comes back to that. All right, you guys didn't mention this monster showdown Week 9, Packers-Chiefs on Fox. We were oh so close to getting Rodgers v. Mahomes in the Super Bowl last season. Now, hopefully, we get it in the regular season. But, Brandon, the under-the-radar quarterback matchup most intriguing to you is blank.
Woo. Week 6, you have Kyler Murray and you have Baker Mayfield. These quarterbacks, like Nick just said, as far as for the Cleveland Browns, have everything they need. Kyler Murray has everything he needs going into his 3rd year. This is when you see guys take a huge step forward or potentially a huge step back. So I want to see who this kid is and what he worked on this offseason and how he's going to lead the Arizona Cardinals. Because, like I said, man, there's no excuse. They have everything. Coaches, players, facilities, they have everything they need. And then on the other side, the Cleveland Browns, Baker Mayfield. We're going to see exactly who he is. If he's a superstar in this league, like Nick thinks he is, then he'll go out there and he'll ball out. This point of the season, we're going to know exactly who Baker is. His rookie year, did pretty good. 2nd year, sophomore slump. 3rd year, came out, balled out, protected the football. Is he going to be that guy? And then some. We will see Week 6 in this matchup.
I'm going to Week 11, and there's some projection here. And the projection is at this point, Trey Lance is the starter. Lance versus Lawrence. Trey versus Trevor. And the Niners taking on the Jags. Obviously, the Niners are a far better team than the Jags, but I think these are going to end up being the 2 best quarterbacks from this draft class. And I think at this point in the season, that Niners will have handed the reins over to Trey, and I'm really excited to see that football game. I also think the Jags have a sneaky chance of being alive for the playoffs deep into the season. I'm that high on Trevor Lawrence. I obviously don't like the Tebow stuff, but I like Urban and I love Trevor. So for all those reasons, Trevor versus Trey on Week 11 on Fox is, to me, the most intriguing quarterback matchup potentially.
Oh, I'm going with the Brandon Bowl. Week 12, Russ versus Fitzmagic. Someone's getting their feelings hurt. And Brandon, we are not going to let you off the hook. You're going to be on the show and be like, well, I don't know. Maybe it could be a tie, guys. I hope they both play well, and we're not going to let you get away. And eventually, we're going to push and push and push. And then you're eventually going to come out like, you know what? Fitzmagic doesn't have it. And next thing you know, Fitzmagic is out of the friend zone. Oh, who comes swooping in? Here comes Kevin Wild sweeping into Fitzmagic's friendship spot with a House of Athlete membership, and I'm headed on NASCAR. It's me and Fred Taylor hanging out on the couch. All good.
Unbelievable.
Fitzmagic out, Wild in.
I love Russ, but Fitz wins this one.
But Fitzy's your guy.
Wow.
Weird and Wonderful from Kevin Wilds from the National Pastime. Garrett Cole, downright filthy yesterday, struck out 12 Rays over 8 innings of work. Cole now the 2nd fastest pitcher ever to 1,500 strikeouts.
Wow.
That is wonderful, but yet there was even more weird and wonderful. KW, what do you got for us?
First up, the Reds, Harrison Bader. Is this a highlight? I think it is. Is it a low light? I don't think it is. Is it the Reds or the Cardinals? No, it's the Cardinals, guys. Get your red uniforms correct. I'm just describing the color of the uniforms. Great play, great recovery. Unfortunately, runs scores. That's why it's classified as weird and not wonderful. Moving on to what is truly wonderful. Mets with another big win yesterday, and they're headed down to Tampa Bay. So they decided to all get dressed. Here's the odd thing. What if they lost? If they lost, are they still taking this photo? And by the way, Pepper, I know you're the resident Mets fan. The Baywatch look, that's Southern California. You do not need that look for a trip to Florida. But overall, wonderful job by the Mets, who are playing great baseball. That's your weird and wonderful from the National Pastime.
They are playing great baseball. Red hot, 7 in a row for your Mets, Sam Pepper, our producer du jour. Back talking the Chiefs now. Could they actually go undefeated this season? Nick's going to tell you. Check out how fired up Andy Reid is for the schedule. Listen to this.
Look forward to the challenge of playing the Browns. Look forward to the challenge of playing the Ravens. We look forward to the challenge of playing LA. Look forward to the challenge of playing the Eagles. Look forward to the challenge of playing the Buffalo Bills. I do look forward to the challenge of playing a good football team. Look forward to the challenge of playing the Titans. We look forward to the challenge of playing the Giants. We look forward to the challenge of playing the Green Bay Packers. We look forward to the challenge of playing the Raiders. Look forward to the challenge of playing the Cowboys. Look forward to the challenge of playing Denver. I look forward to the challenge of playing the Raiders. Look forward to the challenge of playing the Chargers. We look forward to the challenge of playing the Steelers. We look forward to the challenge of playing the Bengals. Look forward to the challenge of playing the Broncos. All right, well, that time's yours.
Back here as we dive into the recently released NFL schedule. So, Bucs and Chiefs, both in the Super Bowl last year, both have fairly paved roads back to the big game, but they look a little different. Tampa, how about this? They got the easiest strength of schedule coming into the season. Remember, they didn't win the division. Meanwhile, KC coming in with the 8th hardest road through the 18-week schedule. So, Brandon, which team has a clearer path to the Super Bowl, Bucs or Chiefs?
Before they released the schedule, I was already talking about the Bucs, and when you look at that, man, you got to go with the Bucs. That is the answer. There's a few reasons why. That guy right there, number 12, Tom Brady, another year in this offense. That was extremely hard to do, almost impossible for him to go into Tampa in his first year and lead them to a Super Bowl and win it. Like, remember, halfway through the year, he was beefing with Bruce Arians. They didn't know what offense they were running. They didn't know what their identity was. They didn't know what their identity was until week 12. So now you give them another offseason, OTAs and mini camps and preseason. What do you think this offense is going to do? Everybody settled in. Mike Evans knows his role. You got Antonio Brown come back. He knows his role. The running backs, they know their role. They return every a player, every coach. And then that defensive side, we all know about the front seven, but you're giving Todd Bowles another year to groom and mold that young secondary. And that is the complex part about that defense. The front seven, they just get after it. Coach Bowles just let them get after it. That back end, they have to be smart. They have to be able to cover up for that front seven if they don't get to the quarterback. So this team is going to be better, not only because they brought back everybody, literally everybody, because all of their coordinators could have been head coaches this year. They should have been head coaches. All their players came back, but you get another offseason to really embrace who you are as an offense, as a defense. So you got to go with the Bucs. Nick, come on, man. You know that.
So here's the thing. And this is people are going to get upset, but they know I'm right. The Bucs are going to be better, and they're going to need to be. Because last year they were about the 6th or 7th best team in the NFL. Oh, Nick, they won the Super Bowl. I know. And they deserve tremendous credit for it. And they were about the 6th or 7th best team in the NFL. And I do not think the path to the Super Bowl for the Bucs this year will duplicate what it was last year, which is your first playoff game against a guy named Taylor Heineke, who, despite it being his first career NFL start, it's a one-score game in the fourth quarter. Your second playoff game, you are losing and being outplayed before the second oldest quarterback in football after a Jared Cook fumble kind of unfortunately disintegrates in real time. Your third playoff game, you are up against a team that has just lost its all-pro left tackle, and you take advantage of it. And then your fourth playoff game. Oh, how about that? You're up against a team that has lost its left tackle, its right tackle, and its right guard, and you take advantage of it. The Chiefs, on the other hand, while the last time we saw them play looked terrible, admittedly, they have rebuilt that offensive line, and prior to the offensive line being decimated by injury, what had the Chiefs done? They had lost once in 15 months. One game. I'm going to throw out the Week 17 game where nobody played. They were far and away the best team in football last year. And whilst people can say, oh, it's a difficult path, last year they played every playoff team you could possibly play, most of them on the road, and beat them all. So, who has the clearer path the team that's clearly better. I give the Bucs get the banner hangs forever, the ring shines forever. I get it. But last year, over the entirety of the season, the Chiefs were the better team. And this year, the Chiefs go into the season the far better team. And again, it's not they won the Super Bowl and they dominated the Super Bowl, and I'm happy for them. But so did the 07 Giants. And the 07 Giants were not better than the 07 Patriots. They were just better that day. And so they just weren't. Come on. And so who has a clear path? The Chiefs have a clear path.
I agree.
My goodness.
And Nicholas, I have an olive branch to give you. It's part of our budding friendship.
What's that?
It's a confession and an apology. Last year, when the Chiefs were coming off their Super Bowl victory, I kept on saying, are you worried about the Super Bowl hangover? And you would always say, while the Super Bowl hangover does not apply to the Super Bowl champions. It applies to the team that loses the Super Bowl. And I always pretended I had some sort of malfunction in my earpiece that I didn't hear you. I knew that. I knew it the entire time.
Yeah.
I was just trying to sort of get you mad. But now they are the Super Bowl hangover team. Are you worried at all about the statistical fact that the true Super Bowl hangover, the team that loses the Super Bowl, comes back and has a disappointing year?
Here's why I'm not. What's the team over the last 20 years that lost the Super Bowl and came right back and won it? The Patriots. Why? Because the year before they had won it. Because the Super Bowl hangover is for a team. It's like, this is the best year we've ever had. We came so close, and oh my God, now we have to climb that mountain. It has a different psychological effect if it's a team that has already climbed that mountain, planted its flag, and then it's just like, this is our mountain. We actually get here every year. And so, no, I don't think a team that has, since Mahomes has been there, the worst year they've had was the AFC Championship game, and the other 2 years were the Super Bowl. I don't think they're going to have a Super Bowl hangover. But, Brandon, because I heard you while I was talking, I have an honest question. Do you think that because the Bucs are the same team as last year, that's like in a good way, right? They're the first Super Bowl champion, they bring everybody back. Do you think that Super Bowl plays out the same way? If the Chiefs in that Super Bowl have the offensive line they're bringing to the season this year, the totally rebuilt, all-pro, in theory, healthy offensive line? Because I don't. So that's another reason why we know what the Bucs are. They made no changes. Right, but I'm talking about projecting for this year. If they were right, we know what the Bucs are. The Chiefs.
We call that after football, and Peter King, he coined it as Monday morning quarterback.
Monday morning quarterback.
Like everything you described about the Bucs run to the Super Bowl is exactly what happened for the Chiefs in 2020. You guys were down against the Texans. Deshaun Watson should have put y'all away. And then there was the game after that. And then even in the Super Bowl, y'all were trailing Jimmy Garoppolo, 20-10 in the third quarter, and Patrick Mahomes came back and he pulled it out. So everything you described about the Bucs is exactly how you guys won your Super Bowl. So we can talk all these shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and all these what ifs all we want. But at the end of the day, it's about when the clock hit zero, what happened. And when you look at this schedule right now, Nick, so we don't deflect and we don't get off track. When you look at this schedule, you guys have a hard schedule, and then the Bucs have an easy schedule with everybody coming back. But here's the deal, and this is the reality of it. Man, the Kansas City Chiefs, they're awesome. Everybody else, the Green Bay Packers, the Chargers, the Steelers, the Broncos, all these teams, the Baltimore Ravens, the Cleveland Browns, all these teams have to play their best game to beat them. So it's going to be interesting, but in the NFL, it's about attrition.
That's right.
Where are these guys going to be standing week after week after week? Because both of these teams are going to be right where they need to be if they're healthy, Jenna. We're probably going to see, a run back on the Super Bowl.
Put the Chiefs' schedule back up. I'm just curious. Nick, take us through the Chiefs' schedule. Because we joked at the top of the show, you think they're going undefeated. But I'm just curious, can you take us through the Chiefs' schedule? If you guys put that back up a second.
Yeah, and maybe even before as we put up the Chiefs' schedule, let's take what we know. Let's talk about the Chiefs with Mahomes in September. So you see, in the first 3 weeks of the season, in September, they play the 3 best quarterbacks in the AFC, Baker, Lamar, and Justin Herbert. What do we know about Mahomes in September? Can't be beaten. 32 touchdowns, 0 picks, 10-0, 124 passer rating. Literally cannot be beaten in September. So now we can go back to that schedule. So you play the 3 best quarterbacks in the AFC, and I said that correctly, Baker, Lamar, and Justin Herbert. That's 3 tough games, but it's in September, so you can't lose them. We've seen the Chiefs play the Bills and Josh Allen, played them twice last year, beat them soundly both times. So I'm looking, and am I going to say, oh, the Chiefs are going to go undefeated? No, that would be ridiculous. But I have projected it out, so let's just show America. I can find 1 loss, America. Right before the bye week, a 10-0 fat and happy Chiefs team takes on the Dallas Cowboys. Hey, oh my goodness gracious, how could the Chiefs only lose 1 game? Well, they lost 1 game last year until they rested everyone in Week 18. Why do I not have them losing Week 18 this year? Well, because you're playing the Broncos. They haven't lost to the Broncos in 2,000 days, and it's the Broncos. So they're not, even if they can play whoever they want. They can bring Brody Croyle back out of retirement. They'll be able to beat the Broncos. Right before the bye week, 10-0, clearly the best team in football. You look past the Cowboys a bit. Dak has a big game against the Chiefs secondary. Well, I'd love it. I mean, we can. Last year, I think I had them going 14-2.
I'm not even going to entertain this.
They ended up going 14-2.
Entertain
me the losses.
I'm not.
Just tell me the losses.
Listen, I'm not going to entertain this, but what I will bring up is this. Earlier in the show, we talked about, what game you're interested in watching, and you said what? The Bucs versus the Cowboys. I think you brought that up. And you got the Cowboys, you have the Cowboys beating the Bucs, right? And now you have your team losing to the Cowboys.
The Cowboys.
So are you again saying that the Cowboys are going to be good? Because you picked them last year to make it to the Super Bowl. So are you again going to be a blind believer in the Cowboys?
Dak didn't get hurt, who knows?
Well, let us know.
Hey,
you're telling us right now.
Last year, who knows what would have happened? Dak got his ankle broken, so maybe they would have made the Super Bowl. Who knows? NFC was a little soft. I don't know if you know who won the Super Bowl last year. It was a 42-year-old washed quarterback.
Cowboys got him again,
I think
guys.
Cowboys will be good. I think Cowboys will be good.
Got to talk some NBA. Season's winding down. Things are getting fun now. Russ playing well last night, 34 points, but came short of a triple-double, and the Wizards lost. So, Nick, who did make your medal stand this morning?
Well, listen, good for Russ, but bad loss for the Wizards, good win for the Hawks. And, little known fact, there were NBA games and NBA news last night. We'll cover it right here. Damian Lillard. Wild said Dame's going to carry him to wins. 1-0 since Wild said it. 30 points, 6 assists in a critical win for the Blazers. They get one more win in their final 2. They lock up, avoiding the play-in. Silver medal. Oh, look who's on the medal stand. Is that Kevin Love? That is Kevin Love. 30 points, 14 rebounds. Now, granted, he was playing a truly awful team that needs to be ripped down to the studs in the Boston Celtics, but still. Great win by the Cavs. How do you lose to the Cavs, Boston? Get it together. Oh, Luka! Oh, look at Luka. A critical win, 33-8-8. The Mavs also now just 1 win away from guaranteeing they won't be in the play-in game and trying to put the Lakers down there.
Oh, they beat the struggling
33-8-8. But most importantly, 0 technicals. Promised you, America. Luka's not going to get that dreaded 16 technical. We had a nice talk about it.
Because you wore that Celtics
There's your medal stand from last night.
Good job.
That's why. Wilds, who just missed the cut, buddy?
Oh, well, there he is. What the heck? Did you play in that? You played with that cool diamond necklace? What in the world? You got a diamond ring on? Because Nicholas, I thought LeBron was coming back against Julius Randle. And then Woj is like, nah, looks like he needs another day. And I was like, all right, probably going to come back against the Rockets. No. So I know in your ultimate confidence, you are not worried. Should I be worried that I've now been psyched out twice on when this guy is actually returning?
It's not looking good for your boys.
He returned.
Not a return.
James Harden returned. How about that?
Hey, Harden, he got some beard back last night. Made Brandon very happy. Just how impressive was his comeback performance. We'll tell you, but
off the bench, a double-double? OMG.
That's like
brag or anything, but I'm really good at this game. You know, I study the game. I'm very unselfish. I take the game and I play it the right way every single night. So I don't try to do anything that I can't do or anything that doesn't benefit our team. And if that mindset right there keeps me in a really good place.
Back here, first things first, got to talk about the Green Bay Packers. With or without Aaron Rodgers, it's going to be a tough upcoming season. Look at the schedule. Set to face 10 teams that made the playoffs last season, including trips to Kansas City and to Baltimore to face the Ravens. But there's a little bright spot shining on Green Bay yesterday. This from Rodgers' former teammate and clearly friend, John Kuhn. Aaron and I are friends, he said. We spent a decade of our lives together in the same meeting rooms on the same practice field, so we do talk. And quite frankly, this is something that I believe is fixable. We got Mike Vick back with us now. Mike, what is your level of faith in Green Bay if Rodgers and the Packers can somehow salvage this relationship?
I have absolutely no faith. I mean, when you make this type of statement on draft day when the whole world is watching, I mean, you really mean it. You know, and it's coming from a place not of hatred, but it's coming from a place of you just being ready to just move on. It's like a relationship, you know, when two people feel like, you know, it's over, you can feel it in your heart when it's over. And I honestly feel like this is unrepairable, unfixable. Now what the Green Bay Packers have to do is just set their sights on Jordan Love. You know, the thing is, they don't want to look like trash this year, and it's understandable. You look at the schedule, and, you know, you got 10 teams up there that made the playoffs previously. And yeah, I would be calling Aaron Rodgers, you know, repeatedly as well. So, you know, this is a situation that is not fixable. The Green Bay Packers are going to have to find a way to come up with a solution where they can look at this schedule, win some games, and try to yield some dividends. You know, but this was their doing. You know, this is the reason this has happened is because the Green Bay Packers, they overstepped their boundaries a year ago when they drafted Jordan Love for all the right reasons, and I understand where they was coming from with the decision. It was just bad timing, and Aaron Rodgers is at the top of his game right now. At 37 years old, he's at his peak and continuing to get better, and there's nothing they can do about it. It's unfixable.
Yeah, I think Mike is probably right. I think here is, if I were giving advice to the people involved in this situation and they wanted to keep Aaron Rodgers, my advice would be this. Matt LaFleur, you've got to be our Trojan horse to a degree. Matt, I need you to get with Aaron, and I need you to tell Aaron that you also don't like Gutekunst. You're as mad as he is. Ooh, and it's got to be you two, the head coach and the quarterback. We're going to be so good this year and perform at a high level that after this season, we will together, after we go to the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl, whatever happens, you have another MVP caliber season, we will unite together, and at the end of the year, we will walk into Mark Murphy's office together and say, both of us don't want to work for that guy anymore. I think that is I think if they are trying to salvage it, you need someone that's not a player, someone in the power structure of the team, not to lightly or vaguely support Rodgers, but go to him directly and say, I am on your side. I didn't want the pick either. I loved what we did our first year together. I think it set us back. I think you carried us last season, because if we show their schedule again, Brandon, this schedule easily breaks into, oddly enough, the 3 different columns on the screen. That first column, if they have Aaron Rodgers, is a 5-1 start. Aside from at San Francisco, they would be favored in every game they play. That second column is brutal. Washington's great defense, Arizona team a lot of people think's on the come, the best team in football, Kansas City, a team with a great quarterback in Seattle. The Rams could be tremendous if Stafford stays healthy all year. And then, so you feel like the first third of the season is as easy as it's going to get. The second third of the season is as hard as it's going to get, and then you see where you're at after the bye, given that you've got, I think, 2 really tough games and 3 very winnable games. So I think if they have Rodgers in the fold, Brandon, they could be a 12-plus win team once again. But I think they need they need something drastic to happen to get Rodgers back fully in the fold. And so that's why I suggest the Matt LaFleur angle.
Listen, Aaron, it's not an if. Aaron Rodgers will be a Green Bay Packer this year and the years to come for these reasons. You got James Jones and John Kuhn, guys that he spent a lot of time with, coming out publicly and saying that it's fixable. That's what they're saying. That's coming from Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is uncomfortable getting uncomfortable. Russell Wilson did it. He made a public statement. He went on the herd and talked about, hey, this is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm feeling. Deshaun Watson did it, before everything kind of got out of control in his life. But he did it. He made a statement, said, I want out. Where's Aaron Rodgers? Why isn't he saying it? Because he's uncomfortable. So he's going through different channels, Wilds, getting his message out. So he will be a Green Bay Packer, and they will compete. They will be a 11, 12 win team like they've always done, right? But here's the problem. They're not going to be a contender. They don't have the defense. They don't have that Charles Woodson playmaker on the other side that can get them more possessions and turn the ball over. They're a team that's always going to compete at a high level when they have Aaron Rodgers, but they won't get over the hump because they continue to mess up the offseason. They don't get it right in free agency. They don't get it right in the draft. They continue to just make a mistake after mistake year after year, Wilds.
So I agree with you, Brandon. I think he's going to be a Green Bay Packer. And I really like Nick's idea of LaFleur kind of teaming up with Rodgers, with one addition. Nick, to your idea, I think if Matt LaFleur goes to Aaron and presents that strategy, I think Aaron looks at it and says, it's a good idea. One quick note. How about $80 million? How about that? How about we do your plan and I get $80 million for a few years? Like, wouldn't that be even better? It's like, it's kind of your plan plus like a huge treasure chest of money, and that will work out because
coming back to
that's what I'm saying, Mike. Because that's what John Kuhn laid out. He said he wanted to be the highest paid. He wanted to be he wanted job security. He wants open communication, which sure you get like a Here, we got a separate Verizon line for us that we can chat together. I think it's still about money and security, Nick.
Money always helps. And I hear and I understand Jenna's question. Like, is that what this has always been about? But, and I know there have been a lot of reports, and some seem to conflict, but we've had multiple people report at different times this offseason, they've offered him a bunch of money. They've offered him a new contract or a contract extension, and that didn't get the job done. So I do think it is more than just that. Mike, though, I want you to break the tie on between Brandon and I about whether or not, if he's there, they can be a real contender, because all 13-3s are not created equal. I thought 2 years ago, when they went 13-3 and lost to the Niners, that team was not a real Super Bowl contender. They had the record of one, but the Niners dominated them twice. Last year when they were 13-3 and were in that NFC Championship game till the final moments, if there's not a very questionable pass interference call, they're getting the ball back down 5. They played it without Bakhtiari. I didn't look at the gap between them and Tampa as massive the way I looked at the gap between them and San Francisco the year before. So I did think they were real contenders last season. If Rodgers is there, do you think they can be real, not 10-win contenders, Super Bowl contenders this season?
Super Bowl contenders. I mean, they're the next closest team that can compete for the championship in the AFC, in the NFC, behind the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And when you look at all the success that the Green Bay Packers have had over the last couple of years, it's because of that man right there, Aaron Rodgers. It's because of number 12. Without him, this team don't win 8 games. Brandon just alluded to it. They don't have defense. They have Aaron Rodgers, and they have a couple guys that can fill in. And, if they can get this all together, if they can get Aaron Rodgers back, then they can compete and they can contend. But if not, they roll with Jordan Love, and it's going to be it's going to be a tough season for the Green Bay Packers.
Year.
The best bet is to find a way to persuade Aaron Rodgers to put that uniform on again moving forward.
No, they're good. They got Blake Bortles yesterday. No matter what, they're in good hands. Time for drawing a blank.
boy. Oh.
That's it. Check out the nice little Thursday night football slate we got on Fox this season. A lot of great games, starting with Rams, Seahawks, Michael Vick. The Thursday night game on Fox you're most excited for is blank.
The November 11th game, the Ravens versus the Dolphins. Look, we know what we're going to get out of Lamar Jackson. Should be a new look offense with some more passing concepts that should suit him. But I'm going to ride with the lucky lefty, man. I can't wait to see what Tua is going to do and how he explodes with the new weapons around him. I think some good things that are coming in Miami that's going to make for a competitive game.
Saturday, pro football continues with the Spring League on Fox. Catch the Alphas as they take on the Conquerors at 3 Eastern. The hard-hitting action kicking off Saturday on Fox and the Fox Sports app. So let us check out the Dallas Cowboys schedule. We haven't done that yet. And let's start with the Super Bowl champs. Play the Chiefs on Fox Week 11. They also got in on the schedule release fun yesterday. Check out Jerry Jones having his share of fun with Post Malone. I mean, if you're going to lean in, lean all the way in, Jerry. Celebrating the easy road for the Dallas Cowboys. Just lean in so far your back starts to hurt. I love it. I mean, just go in.
Making it rain on Dak. Okay.
Just making it rain on Dak. Stories to start your morning sponsored by Ram Trucks, built to serve. And hot off the press, the just released upcoming NFL schedule. Nothing says much watch like Bucs Patriots. Also must watch. Another way to say that. Week 4. There it is. Tom Brady returning to New England. All that rich history between them. But now Tom rolling back in there with another ring on his finger and his people having some fun on social media. TV12 Sports bringing back this commercial that Brady did when he was getting ready to leave New England back to where it all started. It is dramatic, but it is going to be good. Kevin Wildes, you'll be there. I know it, you know it, your bank account knows it. You bought a lot of tickets. What is on the line for this game?
Jenna? Everything is on the line.
Talk to me.
And Bill Belichick won't say it because he's too professional. But it's revenge time. It's revenge time. And you might be like, Wildes, why do you have sunglasses on? Is because the lights are peering into your face? Well, there are a few reasons. One, because John Wick, you got to look cool when you're out on a revenge tour. Reason number 2, I've got mixed emotions about seeing Tom Brady in Foxboro, and I don't want you to see any weakness. Here's the revenge tour if we put up the Patriots schedule. We're gonna start with the Dolphins. Kyle Van Noy leaves the Patriots, made a captain in Miami. Oh, I can be the future of this team. Then they're like, nope, you're out of here. Okay, well now I'm back with the Patriots. We got you week 1. Week 3, hey Saints, what's it like to lose an all-time great quarterback? Well, we know how it feels, and now you'll know how it feels. You'll feel the pain. Week 4, the GOAT is back to face the GOAT. Double GOAT matchup. It looks like Brandon in St. Bart's looking at his beautiful farm. 2 goats hanging out in Foxboro. Week 5, Nick Casario and Jack Easterby. Oh, we remember front office count. Week 9, what the heck is that? Is that a Belichick? No, that's Cam going back to Carolina. You gave up on me. Have some of this. Hey, good news, children in the front row. There'll be a lot of footballs you can take home as souvenirs as Cam goes for 4 touchdowns. Week 10, Browns. What did poor Baker do? He didn't do anything. No. This is to everybody else. You know, I did some research. He used to be the Browns quarterback, the coach. Yeah, we know. And guess what? He's still a good quarterback, and he would have been good with the Browns, too. It's not just all Tom Brady. Week 13, why are the Bills on there? It's because Cam fumbled at the end of the game and cost us? No. It's because you guys won a nice award. Congratulations. I love mustard and ketchup, too. But why'd you put this billboard up on Foxboro? You're on the list now. And finally, the Indianapolis Colts. This is about Peyton Manning? No. It's about you, Carson Wentz. What'd I do? I'm just Carson Wentz. I didn't even play in the Super Bowl. Yeah, that's the point. If you did play in the Super Bowl, you wouldn't have called for the Philly special. Nick Foles called for it. We ended up losing the game. So you're on the list, my friends. Mike Vrabel, once a Patriot, always a Patriot. I still remember your clock manipulation, but I let you off the list for now. For now, my friend, but you're going on too. Brandon, your
my
poor
goodness.
Jets aren't even good enough to be on the list. I just penciled in 2 W's. But that Patriots, it's revenge season starting soon.
Well, hey, listen, you just entertained us, and that's what this week is going to be about, is entertaining. That's what it is, leading up to it, the debates on all the shows, you know, the discussions that we're going to have. You know, what we're going to be tuning into is seeing Tom Brady come out the tunnel and seeing if he goes to Bill Belichick and shake his hands. Look, in the middle of a pandemic, this company, this business brought in $12 billion. We had athletes making millions of dollars. When you have dudes in a business like this with so much money, what happens is about ego. That's it. It's ego, ego, ego. So they're going to be pros about it. They're going to take the high road. They're not going to talk about it. But you best believe that they're going to go out there and try to put their best foot forward. But at the end of the day, when we talk about legacy, their legacy is defined by Super Bowls, and that's it, not a Week 4 matchup.
Well, and that's why, Brandon, for Brady, this is a bit of a free roll. Because of how brilliantly the Bucs finished the season and how poorly the Patriots season went last year, Brady has such a monster lead in the post-Brady-Belichick divorce narrative that even if they go to Gillette and get annihilated, it doesn't change the fact that Brady is winning the divorce. What I am concerned about for Kevin Wildes is this, though. Because Wildes been very successful for a lot of years. His wife's very successful. And despite all of that, he had to hit me up yesterday to ask for a bridge loan for the box of seats he bought to this football game. Like, Wildes got money, and he was like, Nick, just a little short-term loan because I want to rent out a section to this game. He wants to invite his brothers, his friends, everyone to this football game. Here's my concern, Wildes. This is Belichick's last shot at Tom. I know Tom's talking about playing till he's 50. He won't. This is going to be the last time Belichick gets a chance. You can't really even the score, but to at least take a round off him. And if you, after, putting a second mortgage on your beautiful palatial estate, go to this football game and then have to drive home through tears through the sunglasses because Brady came there and beat you. The narrative, the season, all of it. Now, I actually think you guys can win this game, but I think there is immense amount to lose for the Patriots and very little to lose for Tom Brady.
Okay. So it is an important game because, as you predicted, we could easily start off 4-0 if we win this game. So the question is this, Nick, and I'll just take on advice. If we need to win the game, what are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to cheer Tom Brady when he comes out and then boo him? Because in the break, I asked Mike, I was like, Mike, if the Patriots want to win, what should they do? He's like, you should boo Tom Brady. You should make it as uncomfortable. But that's going to be tough for me. I'm going to wear the sunglasses even though it's a night game. I'll still be here.
Make you feel better.
It'll be mixed.
Wildes, I've got it. No.
What?
No, you cheer for Tom Brady, and then you do to Brady what you've done to other quarterbacks in Gillette for 20 years. You cut out his headset in the most critical moments. Oh, we had a malfunction in the stadium. So you cheer for him, but then you cut out the communication, and that's how you
Gotta go. Undisputed right now.